Then okay, next part, material to be used in prefabrication system is concrete, steel, plus 7 topic prefabrication, construction and formwork चालू आहे. ओके, त्यामध्ये लास्ट मगाशीच्या एक अर्धा तासात आपण बघितलं प्रीफॅब्रिकेशन म्हणजे काय. ओके, प्रीफॅब्रिकेशन डेफिनेशन, त्याचे एम काय आहेत, ओके, त्याचे ऍडव्हान्टेजेस, डिसएडव्हान्टेज, कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स आता बघतोय. तर मटेरियल्स टू बी युज्ड इन प्रीफॅब्रिकेशन सिस्टीम. ओके, इझी पार्ट आहे, आपल्याला पूर्ण एमसीक्यू टाइप असल्यामुळं थेरी पार्ट आणि प्रॅक्टिकल मध्ये खूप फरक आहे. इझी जे कन्सेप्ट पूर्ण क्लिअर होतात. लास्ट आपलं प्रीफॅब्रिकेशन नंतर लास्ट टॉपिक स्पेशल कन्स्ट्रक्शन, म्हणजे 6 टॉपिक मधलं आपलं क्रेन वगैरे बुलडोजर बघितलो, म्हणजे अर्थ मुव्हिंग इक्विपमेंट त्या रिलेटेड आहेत. सगळे एकमेकाला कोरिलेटेड आहेत, सो सेम आहेत हेडिंग, फक्त त्यामध्ये जे आपल्याला घ्यायचंय ते व्यवस्थित घ्यावूया. ओके, मटेरियल्स यूज्ड टू बी यूज्ड इन प्रीफॅब्रिकेशन सिस्टीम. First is the concrete, steel, treated wood, aluminum, cellular concrete, lightweight concrete element and ceramic products. Okay, main component of the prefabricated construction. पण हे पुढचं बघूयात, अजून 5-6 स्लाइड्स आहेत प्रीफॅब्रिकेटेड रिलेटेड, तर पूर्ण समजेल. ओके, components of prefabricated construction, the flooring and roofing scheme and beams, columns, walls, staircase, lintel, sunshade, sajja projection, the eight component of prefabrication construction. Then prefabrication system, this system, the prefabrication construction depend on the extent of the use of prefabricated components, their material sizes and the techniques adopted for their manufacturing use in the building. This is the prefabrication system. फर्स्ट त्याचे व्हिडिओज पण मी दाखवेन, म्हणजे तुम्हाला कळेल. फर्स्ट इज व्हेरियस प्रीफॅब्रिकेशन सिस्टीम. फर्स्ट इज ओपन prefab system. Okay, prefab system, this system is based on the use of the basic structure element to the form whole or part of the building. The standard prefab concrete components which can be used are: first is the reinforced concrete channel units, hollow core slabs, hollow blocks and batten, and precast planks and batten, and precast joist and tiles, cellular concrete slab. प्रिकास्ट कॉन्क्रीट तुम्हाला झालेले कॉन्क्रीट टेक्नॉलॉजी मध्ये पूर्ण त्यावर टॉपिक आहे. फक्त एक हेडिंग आहे प्रिकास्ट कॉन्क्रीट आणि फॉर्मवर्क. दोन्ही पण पॉइंट लास्ट तुम्ही फर्स्ट इयर सेकंड बेसिक मध्ये पण शिकलेला आहात, की तोच पार्ट आता परत तोच बघतोय आपण. ओके, प्रिकास्ट कॉन्क्रीट, रेनफोर्स कॉन्क्रीट स्लॅब, रेनफोर्स प्रिकास्ट कॉन्क्रीट बीम, रेनफोर्स प्रिकास्ट कॉन्क्रीट कॉलम, प्रिकास्ट लिंटेल आणि सज्जा, रेनफोर्स कॉन्क्रीट अँड वॉल स्लॅब शेल्स, and room size reinforced precast concrete panel, and reinforced precast concrete wall elements, and reinforced precast concrete trusses. This is the main open for the precast concrete structure. For many prefabrication system, the government should came forward in establishing building factors. They should be suitably located at the various places in whole country. For the continuous flow of the production from factories, a stable market must be created for the purpose. The government should fix the annual quota for the construction construction of prefabrication houses for mass housing. When the government policy of housing strongly affected the building industry, means in Europe industries, housing is much more wide spread and popular, and the chief reason lies in the government involvement in the housing being more extensive and provide a large single market that marks the industrialization both possible or attractive. I mean, another factor of the facilitate the development of buildings industry, the proper understanding the among the manufacturing architecture design the builders users. I mean, the architecture and design should go for standardization of main parameters of the building component by incorporating coordinator planning and designing. Main purpose of the opening peripheral system is this will result in manufacturing of standard components in mass scale and consistency economy. Means further the building users unless you accept the all efforts will go to waste, and so they must educated by the way of advertisements, similar symposium means workshop, exhibition, and frequent demonstration of prefabricated system. Okay, then category categories of open prefabrication system. Mean there are two categories of open prefabrication system, means depend upon the extent of prefab used in the construction as given below. Means partial prefab open system and full prefab open system. Okay, partial prefab open system. This system basically emphasizes the use of precast roofing and flooring components and the other minor element like lintel, sajja, kitchen, slice in conventional building construction. The structure system could be in the form of in situ form of or load bearing walls. Then full prefab opening system. This is the partial is the half for the lintel such as like elements, kitchen, conventional buildings is the construction for the partial. Then full prefab open system is the in this system almost all the structure components are prefabricated. Is the main pick for the prefabricate full prefab open system. These pillars walls may be bricks or any other local materials. Then large panel prefab system. This system is the based on the use of large precast components, and the components such as a precast concrete and large panel for walls and floors, roofs, and balconies, staircase, etc. The casting of the component could be at the site or of site of a site, means micro flats instead into the large house scheme. This is the main crane for the precast concrete structure construction. Then classification of structural scheme with precast large panel. First is the wall system, is cross wall system, longitudinal wall system. Then three type of wall system and cross wall system, longitudinal wall system, cross wall system. In this the scheme, the cross wall load bearing wall, whereas the faked walls are non-loading bearing. Their system is suitable for high-rise building. This is the main part for the cross wall system. Then longitudinal wall system. In this scheme, the cross wall are non-load bearing, whereas longitudinal walls are load bearing walls. This system is suitable for low-rise building, means a combination of above system with all load-bearing walls. Walls can also be adopted. Means a combination of above system will load all load-bearing walls can also be adopted. Then precast floors. This photo is precast floors. Precast floors units could be homogeneous or non-homogeneous. Okay. If तुम्हाला picture दिसते homogeneous, non-homogeneous के photos, the homogeneous floors could be solid slab, corroded slab, and rebuilt or wall-fill slab. And non-homogeneous floor is the would be multi-layer ones with combination of lightweight concrete or reinforced precast concrete with filler blocks. Okay, then staircase system. Staircase system could consist of single flats within built rise and trade in the element only. The flights are normally undirectional, transferring the loads to supporting landing slabs or load-bearing walls. Then a box type construction. In this system, room size units are prefabricated and erected at site. Toilet and kitchen blocks also be similar, prefabricated and erected at site. Okay. This system drives its stability and stiffness from the box unit, which are formed by the four adjustment wall. Walls are joined to make rigid connection among themselves. Means the box unit rests on the plinth foundation, which may be of conventional type or precast type of the box construction. Main construction site for the any type of the box type or any prefabricated construction site is the very high speed of the element. Means few types of the construction elements. Many institute and research organization in our country have developed various type of prefabrication building elements. Means the out which a central building research institute means the CBRI, IIT Roorkee is a considered development of flooring and roofing units. Then joints. Joints is the should be provided in the light of their assessment with respect to the following consideration. First is feasibility, practicability, serviceability, fire roofing, appearance. Feasibility is the feasibility of joint shall be determined by its load carrying capacity in the particular situation in which the joint it is the function. And practicability is the joint shall be determined by the amount and type of material, fabrication and erection, and the time for fabrication and erection. And serviceability shall be determined by the joint expected behavior to repeated or possible overloading and exposing climate or chemical condition. So the three type of the joints: feasibility, practicability, and serviceability. Then fireproofing and appearance for the main joint technology material normally employs are the welding if cleats or projected steel and overlapping reinforcement loops and linking steel grouted by concrete. Then reinforced concrete is all around as slab. Then pre-stitching and explosive grouting and bolts, nuts, connections. The joint technology for material prefabrication construction. Okay, the combination of the all above means the main joint for the this is the component fixing and jointing. House being built with the prefabrication concrete panel. तुम्हाला दिसतंय हा फोटो मध्ये जेव्हा आपण कन्स्ट्रक्शन साइट मध्ये स्टील फॉर्मक असो ते खाली पण दिसतंय प्रिफॅब्रिकेशन वॉल पॅनल बिंग इन्स्टॉलेशन इन पब्लिक हाऊसिंग. जे व्हिडिओ आहेत ऍक्च्युअल कशी प्रोसेस आहे प्रिफॅब्रिकेशनची कन्स्ट्रक्शन ते आपण पण बघूया. Okay, steel framework for the core wall construction. असं आहे. Okay, then battery form method. Sorry, हे राहिलं. Okay, installing and fixing the precast facades into the position. कसे फिक्स करतात आपण बघूयात. व्हिडिओ पण बघूयात आपण. Okay, precast method. First individual mold method means using mold which may be easily assembled out of bottom and sides transportable if necessary. This may be either in timber or in steel using needed or mold vibration and capable of taking pre-stating force. Means used in rib slab, beam, girder, window panel, box type units and special element. Main used in ribbon slab and a beam for the window panel and the box type unit special element. Then next battery form method. Battery form method is the form method. Shuttering and panel may be adjusted in the form of battery at the required distance. The display number of the कंपाऊंड्स म्हणजे कास्ट कुठले 1 2 3 4 5 प्लॅन आहे आणि हे सेक्शन मध्ये तुम्हाला असं दिसणार. जस्ट त्यांनी डायग्राम काढून दाखवलाय की इक्वल टू द रिक्वायर्ड डिस्टन्स इक्वल टू द थिकनेस ऑफ concrete members means used in interior walls, panel, shell element, reinforcement, concrete, batten, rafter, furnace, roof and floor slab. Then main battery form मध्ये कसं दिसते used in floor and roof slab panel. मला हा स्लॅबचा हा पूर्ण सेक्शन मध्ये तुम्हाला बघायचा आहे. ओके, हे सेपरेटर तुम्हाला हे दिले त्याने बॅटरी फॉर्म मेथड मध्ये म्हणजे स्टॅक मेथड मध्ये बॅटरी फॉर्म मेथड युज्ड इन. ओके, देन टायलिंग मेथड. ओके, टायलिंग मेथड सरफेस फिनिश मध्ये डॉटेड लाईन आहेत ते. ओके, कास्ट करतोय आपण मीन्स मोल्ड एक्सटेरियर वॉल साठी. ओके, बॅटरी फॉर्म मेथड, टायलिंग मेथड इज used in battery form method used in the mold exterior wall. Then long line precast bed method means battery form method मध्ये काय ते used in double T's, rib, slab, furnace and beam, furlines and beams. Okay, main mold आहे ते 2-3 हे आहे ते jack तो जो घेतो. Okay, long distance precast method मध्ये. Then next extrusion method means battery form method is long concrete mold with constant cross section and vibration will be done automatically just as in concrete in just as in concrete roof means used in roof slab. Okay, हे दिसते तुम्हाला लेवलर, हे लेवलर आहे आणि नंतर roof slab, concrete walls and panel and beam. Okay, last type limitation of prefabrication is a small number of units required by prove to be uneconomical means special connections such as special bearing to transmit the vertical and horizontal loads can be added cost to the system means waterproofing at joints, transportation difficulties and need for the cranes. Then last, okay, हे मेन बेसिक पार्ट झाले. नंतर एक 2-3 स्लाइड आधी व्हिडिओ बघूयात आपल्याला. ऍक्च्युअली प्रिकास्ट कॉन्क्रीट मध्ये काय आपण बघूयात कसे आपलं वर्क करते.
Equipment are stored inside the manufacturing facility and never impacted by rain, snow, or wind. This obviously enhances the quality of materials used in the modular buildings. Additionally, material handling and inventory procedures become more effective in contributing to an efficient and accelerated building process. Mobile modular buildings are typically constructed and positioned on structural steel frame that essentially serves two purposes. First is carrying the load of the building, and second is transporting the buildings. There are two types of frames: a perimeter frame, which consists of two perimeter steel I-beams and an intermediate joist or cross members. This frame is usually used for heavier buildings and where perimeter foundations are required. An outrigger frame, which is what we see here, consists of two junior I-beams with truss or solid cross members. This frame is usually used in lighter and more standardized buildings. All frame members are welded and painted with an anti-rust paint. The frames are carried by an axle system, and depending on the weight of the building, the number of axles are determined, and it could vary from 2 to 8 axles per building. Typically, an axle is rated for 6,000 pounds plus an additional safety factor. The tires usually are rated for 3,100 pounds and inflated to a cold pressure of 115 pounds. Here's where the floor section is built. The first step in the process is to install an underlayment on the steel frame to protect the building from moisture, insects, and pests. The floor section is then framed using traditional lumber. A standard floor configuration would consist of 2x6 joists at 16 inches on center. Obviously, that would vary depending on building size and projected design loads. The floor section is then placed on and bolted to the steel frame. Unfaced batt insulation with a standard R value of 19 is then placed between the joists. The insulation requirements will also vary depending on the project's energy requirements and location. Here we see the floor decking is being installed using 5/8 plywood tongue and groove decking, which is secured to the framing below with adhesive and mechanical fasteners. Following that, the floor area is sanded to ensure a smooth substrate for the finished flooring application. the vinyl floor tiles are installed in a controlled environment and allowed to cure before it moves on to the next station. The flooring from this point forward will also be protected to avoid any damage during the manufacturing process. The next step is constructing the interior and exterior walls, and for both, the process is the same. Using flat assembly tables, the walls are framed using 2x4 or 2x6 studs at 16 inches on center, with bad insulation placed in between and as needed to meet the building energy requirements. What's important to note here is the fixed tolerances allowed in the wall fabrication process as a result of using the dimensional framing tables. Door and window openings are placed utilizing prefabricated components to ensure standardized measurements and efficient handling. In parallel, all electrical and plumbing roughing components are installed within the wall section prior to placing the interior drywall panels. Each wall section is marked with an identification code so it can be properly placed on the building footprint. The interior and exterior wall sections are then lifted and placed into the floor section in accordance with the building floor plan. The HVAC unit is also installed in this section prior to any of the exterior finished work commencing. One of the core advantages of modular building manufacturing process is having multiple component prefabrication stations that allow for a repetitive and thus consistent process of assembling core building components such as walls, doors, and HVAC ductwork. This process ensures the control tolerances required during the assembly process are achieved. The roof and ceiling section is typically fabricated in one station, and depending on the type of interior ceiling used, the process may change a bit. Here we see a roof section that has a hard deck ceiling, and as a result of that, the first step in the process is to lay the ceiling drywall panels first, then place the roof trusses as per the engineering design. The trusses are mechanically fastened and or adhere to the ceiling panels. Again, little room for dimensional variations due to the fixed framing tables used to assemble the roof sections. The roof section is then lifted and placed on a secondary station where all the electrical wiring, the insulation, and the HVAC ductwork is installed in the roof cavity. Additionally, light fixtures and diffusers are installed on the finished side of the roof section. The completed roof section is then lifted and placed on the building module and fastened as per the engineering drawings. In this station, the exterior wall sheathing and the air barrier is installed. So basically, here is where the building gets enclosed and enters into the finishing stage. And on this particular building, a hardy panel siding is being installed. The siding panels are pre-cut and pre-painted in different stations and done in a controlled environment within this facility. In this station, we have a lot of components going in: exterior doors, windows, plumbing fixtures, and interior finish. The roof membrane is also installed in this station. Again, the interior conditions of a manufacturing facility allow for a consistent temperature and environment for the placement and curing of all components. At this point, the unit will undergo a series of testing procedures to ensure the building electrical and mechanical systems are operating as required by the design specifications and building codes. From a plumbing standpoint, the water supply, drainage, ventilation, and fixtures will be tested utilizing air and water pressure tests. Electrically, all receptacle circuits will be tested for proper voltage and polarity. Light fixtures and exit signs will also be inspected and tested for operation. The HVAC unit and exhaust fans will also be inspected for installation, location, and operation. Here, the unit is in the final cleaning stage, where the building interior is cleaned, the vinyl floors are waxed and sealed, the walls, doors, and windows are wiped down. The exterior siding is also cleaned, and the building is then prepared for final inspections. Once the unit is offline, it undergoes a series of final quality inspections and sign-offs. And since the building has passed 5 quality inspection points online that address every major manufacturing stage, the final inspection focuses mainly on finishes and overall appearance. It should be noted, however, that all units are inspected by third-party state building inspectors to ensure the buildings are manufactured to the design standards and state code requirements.
प्रीफॅब्रिकेशन स्ट्रक्चरचा आपण व्हिडिओ बघितलाय. ओके, ते स्ट्रक्चर कसे आपण प्रीफॅब्रिकेट करतोय ते बघूया. मगाशी फर्स्ट लेक्चरला झालेला आहे, मगाशीच्या फर्स्ट स्लाइड मध्ये तेच पुढचं आहे. ओके, काय वेगळं आहे ते बघूया. स्ट्रक्चर, कॉन्क्रीट आणि कन्स्ट्रक्शन मध्ये इंट्रोडक्शन, प्रीफॅब्रिक concept, prefabrication components. Okay, what is prefabrication? Prefabrication is the practice of assembling components of a structure in a factory or other manufacturing site and transporting complete assemblies or sub-assemblies the construction site where the structure is to be located. It is combination of good design with modern high performance components and quality control manufacturing procedures. What is prefabrication concept? The prefabrication sections are produced in large quantities in a factory and shipped to various construction sites. This procedure may allow work to continue despite poor weather condition and should reduce any waste in time and material at the site. Precast concrete units are cast and hardened before being used for construction. Prefabrication, the fabrication as defined will be done in two stages: manufacturing at factory condition and erection of components at the required location. This requires certain stage of prefabrication. They are casting, curing, transporting, and erection. It's the main part of the prefabrication construction structure. Okay, this is the truss level for the prefabrication. The curing, after 24 hours of casting, the casted components are released from the mold. Mold and transported to curing tanks. Certain special components like railway sleepers where high strength is required are steam cure. Okay, दाखवते तुम्हाला त्याची फिगर. क्युरिंग, हे तुम्हाला दिसते रेल्वे रोलर सारखं तुम्हाला प्रीफॅब्रिकेशन क्युरिंगचा. Okay, then prefabrication, transportation and erection means after completion curing is done, the components are transported to the site with heavy trucks and erection will be done using cranes with skilled labor force. Okay, this is the skilled labor force of the high transportation erection. Then prefabrication for India condition, partial prefabrication well suited. This is main part for prefabrication. Partial suited for walls. Okay, wells for the returns. And then prefabrication components. Some of the prefabrication components are explained below. Column is a vertical member carrying the beam and floor loading to the foundation. Compression number and therefore the column connection is required to be proper. Main principle involved is making column connection is to ensure continuity, and this can be achieved by a variety of methods. This is the main for a column to column connection. Okay, same connection means assembly grouted. Okay, this is the column connection of the prefabrication construction. Then beam can vary in their complexity of design, and the reinforcement form very simple beam form over an isolated opening to the more common encountered in frames where the beam transport their loading to the column. In the method of connecting the beam and columns are beam to column connection. Okay, column bars and columns is the beam connection welded plate of the beam. Then precast column means strips for the columns and precast concrete. This is the angle for bucket bottom to column. Okay, तुम्हाला दिसते beam and columns attachment. Okay, beam can vary in the complexity of design and therefore from the very simple beam form or an isolated opening to the more common anchor in the frame where the beam transfer their loading to the column. Okay, method of connecting beam and column. A precast concrete haunches is cast on the column with locality dowel or a stud bolt to fix the beam. Okay, then projecting metal corbel is fixed to the column and the beam is bolted to the corbel. Means the column and beam reinforcement generally in the form of hooks and left exposed. There are two members are hooked together and converted with in situ concrete to the complete the joint. This is shown in figure, main part of the beam and column connection. Then prefabricate building components means wall units for flooring and roofing. There are suitable for roofs and flooring spanning into two directions, for they are laid in grid pattern. These units are cast in molds. The saving achieved is not much, means also shuttering are completed and costly. And then time consumption for construction is less. Main part of the RCH building is the 18 say to typical floor molds. Okay. Then any connected welder arranged connector, two types of the connector built and wall filled. They are two, their unit cast in mold and the saving achieved in not much also shuttering. Okay, this is the main part of the beam and connection for the column. Okay, then next, this is main part of the beam and weld connection, welded angle connector. Okay, then this is the glance at building process. Then advantages and disadvantages of the prefabrication structure. The saving is cost, material time is saving in cost, material time and manpower, and shuttering and scaffolding is not necessary. Then installation of building service and finishes can be done immediately. Then independent of weather condition and component procedure at close supervision, so quality is good. Then disadvantage means handling and transportation may cause breakage of members during the transit and extra provision is to be made. Second disadvantage, difficulty in connecting precast units so as to produce same effects as monolithic. This lead to non-monolithic construction. And third, they are to be exactly placed in position, otherwise the loading coming on them are likely to get changed and the member may be affected. High transportation disadvantage, high transportation cost, need of erection equipment and skilled labor and supervision is required. Then last conclusion of the precast structure. Precast prefabricate components and prefabricate structure eliminates the space and time over the conventional construction. The main part of the prefabricated structure is employed to the large extent in the wide variety of countries in India. Construction in industry, in spite in expansion, continues to adopt same conventional method. Then the root of the economic problem is fact that majority of the household do not have the confidence needed to construction prefabricated house. These structures are easy to erect as light material. This type of prefabricated buildings where construction earthquake from areas of later Gujarat. Okay. Main part for the prefabricated website google.com, britain.com. Okay. Dictionary dictionary of construction.com. Main for part for prefabrication structures. Okay. त्यावर आपण एक व्हिडिओ पण बघूयात आपण. Modern methodology prefabricated related. नेटचा प्रॉब्लेम आहे, एकच मिनिट. Shit, network issue. स्टडी करत राहावा कारण एक्झाम नेक्स्ट मंथ मध्ये असेल. सगळे एमसीक्यू टाइपच आहेत, सो फोकस एमसीक्यू वर करा. ओके, व्हिडिओ चालू झाला. आवाज येतोय?
Precast reinforced concrete. With more traditional methods of construction, to construct a building would require a lot of space surrounding the site to store material and for construction vehicles to work and move around the site. Construction takes a very long time, creates a lot of noise and disturbance for the surrounding population, and creates an excessive amount of waste. This also requires a large workforce to carry out the various skilled site trades required, and coupled with the well-publicized skills shortage, poses huge challenges to the budget and delivery of new building projects. Having a large workforce on site also carries greater risks to health and safety. When considering more traditional methods, increased temporary works is required when compared to off-site methods. Today's modern methods of construction have advanced greatly, particularly precast concrete, which increases efficiency in every area. The building's components are constructed off-site in a factory environment with a quality control process that results in a robust, high-quality solution. These components are then delivered to site on a just-in-time basis, then lifted directly off the vehicles and installed into their final location. The exterior wall units, called sandwich panels, consist of a structural inner leaf, an insulating layer, and a pre-finished outer leaf. The outer leaf is connected to and supported by the inner leaf using proprietary plastic ties, sandwiching the insulating layer in between. Sandwich panels provide a ready-made exterior with a variety of finishes and an interior surface ready for direct decoration. They come pre-fitted with doors, windows, conduits, and are the most fire-resistant build methods available due to the insulation being totally encased by the walls, floors, and roof slabs. Installation is clever but simple. To satisfy approved Document A of the building regulations, the sandwich panel walls and internal solid walls have continuous vertical ties. All floors are horizontally tied to their supports. The units are then fully grouted to provide a three-dimensional tied structure. Placed on top of these are precast slabs that cover an entire room. They can have cast-in conduits for lighting and recesses for bathroom pods. Alternatively, hollow-core precast concrete planks are used for longer spanning areas. These flooring units are lifted onto their final bearing directly from the delivery vehicles. The units do not require any temporary propping, and once grouted, they act as a diaphragm, which transfers the lateral forces to the cross walls, which subsequently transfers these forces down to the foundations to achieve stability. A precast building can be erected in as much as half the time as a traditionally constructed building. It is much more cost-effective, as off-site construction also eliminates the need for on-site storage and a large workforce. Only a small crew is needed, which also benefits greatly for health and safety and follow-on trades. The building can also be constructed in tight urban areas with very little noise pollution or interruption to the surrounding community. The versatility of this off-site solution means that precast concrete construction can be used in a broad spectrum of applications, such as hotels, hostels, social housing, student accommodation, apartment buildings, and prisons. There are other modern methods of construction, but lack the benefits of precast construction. Precast reinforced concrete units have the strength and durability. They come pre-fitted with doors, windows and conduits for services. The units also have a finished exterior, and interior surfaces are suitable for direct decoration, which eliminates the need for dry-lined walls and suspended ceilings. The thermal mass properties of the exposed concrete enable it to absorb, store and later radiate heat. Daytime temperatures can be reduced up to 5 degrees. Precast reinforced concrete is inherently fire resistant, eliminating the need for site-applied fire protection and subsequently maintenance-free. Precast components are rapidly installed, with units delivered as they are needed, allowing follow-on trades access to the building much sooner and with no obstructions. Temporary works is not required, installation is quiet, no storage space required, and is suitable for tight construction sites. Much greater reduction in waste as units are made to order. And of course, with all the above taken into account, it is much more cost-effective. Thank you for watching. Please contact FP McCann for more information on precast concrete construction.
पण अजून एक पीपीटीज बघूया आणि नेक्स्ट फॉर्मवर्क चालू करूया. फॉर्मवर्कचे पण बघूया. प्रीकास्ट कॉन्क्रीट, मगाशी आपण प्रीकास्ट कन्स्ट्रक्शन बघितलो. सेकंड स्लाइड प्रीकास्ट स्ट्रक्चर बघितलो. थर्ड आहे प्रीकास्ट कॉन्क्रीट. ओके, मेन प्रीकास्ट कॉन्क्रीट, प्रीकास्ट म्हणते, प्रीफॅब्रिकेशन, प्रीकास्ट म्हणलं ना, प्रीफॅब्रिकेशन कन्स्ट्रक्शन, प्रीफॅब्रिकेशन स्ट्रक्चर झालं. थर्ड पॉइंट प्रीफॅब्रिकेशन ऑफ कॉन्क्रीट. सेमच आहे, वर्किंग प्रोसेस सेम आहे, फक्त त्यामध्ये वेगवेगळे पार्ट्स आहेत. ओके, व्हॉट इज प्रीफॅब्रिकेशन? प्रीफॅब्रिकेशन इज प्रॅक्टिस ऑफ असेंबली, मगाशी बघितलं, components of structure in a factory or other manufacturing site and transporting them to construction where the structure is to be located. Means the method control construction cost by economizing on time, wages and material. Means prefabrication units may include door, staircase, window, wall, panel, floor panel and roof trusses and even room size components. Main prefabrication is a practice of assembling components of structures. Then next, main part of the precast concept, the theory of behind the method is that time and cost is saved if similar construction tasks can be grouped and assembly lines techniques can be employed in the prefabrication at the location. Means whereas skilled labor is available while conjunction at assembly site, which wasted time can be reduces. In the method finds application particular where the structure is composed of repeating units of forms where multiple copies of the same basic structures are being constructed. Okay, prefabrication construction, the restriction conditions such as the lack of power, lack of water, exposure to harsh and weather and hazard environment are avoided. What is material to use? आपण जे व्हिडिओ मध्ये बघितलंय, 2 व्हिडिओज आपण जे ऍक्च्युअल साइट वर कसे वर्क करतात आपण पाहिलं. ओके, मटेरियल्स that allow large span construction shall be used. Second, actual manufactured components vary slightly when made from the specified dimension. Thus, material shall be used which gives minimum variation in the economic and cost effective material. Aesthetically sound material shall be used to improve the appearance of building. Material must be able to take the structural loads and the stresses. Material that can be molded to variety of shapes shall be used. Means ease of the maintenance. And that is what is the aim of prefabrication: to speed up the construction type, to lower the labor cost, to allow the year-round construction, to ensure precise of comfortability to standard, to ensure greater quality, to allow less wastage of material. Then prefabrication building material means the main part for the prefabrication house means door frame, means asphalt shingles, plastic, steel, alumina, plastic, steel, alumina allow the window. Okay, plastic, steel, alumina, and storage of the prefabrication materials. First is the door frame, second window frame, it is roof slab, lintels, ventilators, then wall partition, then components, wall panel, cement, concrete, then beta, wall partition panel, component wall panel, cement, concrete, and small pillars for components wall, seals, trusses. Okay, main part for the prefabrication house. प्रिफॅब्रिकेशन हाऊस पार्ट, विंडो कुठला आहे हे सेपरेट कसे केलेले आहेत बघा. पार्ट मेन असा आहे तो प्रिफॅब्रिकेशन हाऊस. ते पार्ट वाईज तुम्हाला खाली दाखवले सेपरेट डायग्राम मध्ये आपले फोटोज मध्ये. ओके, मटेरियल काय आहे तर एक्स्ट्रॅक्टेड मीन्स ऍग्रिगेट, स्टोन, सँड, मेटल और ऑइल, जिप्सम. ओके, हार्वेस्टेड कुठले तर वूड, नॅचरल रबर, नॅचरल फायबर. ओके, दिस इज द raw material components, element and assembly material. Then raw material, there are 6 types is divided subtype. First is a procedure or formulated material, second subcomponent, third is functional component, fourth is structural semi structural element, fifth is offsite assembly, sixth is the on-site assembly. Means is material then material for the cement, brick, glass, block, insulation, steel like roof tiles, timber, plaster, mortar, polymer, silted, coating, and adhesive. These are then second component for the prefabrication building material, partition board, plywood, plaster board, expanded foam means pipe, wire, seal, adhesive tapes means the limited panels means hardware, plumbing, fitted steel frame, door, window, door wiring, window. Okay, then elements there for the walls, roof, elements, floor, ceiling, ports, foundation, door, and joinery. Then assembly the complete the structure or building system is the volumetric, stick building, panel, and hybrid. Means the erection, finishing, foundation, and services. Means on site for the assembly and the off site of the assembly. Then next main part for the flat roof prefabricated house structure. First is the partition wall. Okay, first is the partition wall. Then flooring plywood. Second is flooring plywood. Third is gypsum board. The delay. Fourth is the sequence steel beam. Fourth is the sequence steel floor, panel, post, वगैरे concrete foundation, foam, wall panel. Okay, this is the main floor flat. Then assembly assembly diagram आहेत. Assembly diagram तुम्हाला दिसतात. Next, components prefabrication. The prefabrication dimension of precast element according to NBC shall be followed. First is flooring and roofing scheme means precast slabs or other precast structure flooring units means length, nominal length shall be in multiple of 1 meter means width, nominal width shall be in multiple of 0.5 meter and overall thickness, flooring and roofing scheme overall thickness shall be multiple of 0.1 meter. This flooring and roofing scheme. Then second beam length, nominal length shall be in multiple of 1 meter, width, nominal width shall be in multiple of 0.1 meter and overall depth is the floor zone shall be in multiple of 0.1 meter. This is the component of a prefabrication of the structure. Then column for the height and lateral dimension, height of the column for industrial and other building 1 meter and lateral dimension, overall lateral dimension or dimension of column shall be in multiple of 0.1 meter means wall of thickness is the nominal thickness of wall shall be in multiple of 0.1 meter. Then the staircase width is the nominal width shall be in the multiples of 1 meter and lintels Lintels, length, width, and depth. Length is the nominal length shall be in multiple of 1 meter, and width is the nominal width shall be in multiple of 0.1 meter, and depth is the nominal depth shall be in multiple 1 meter. This is the main part of the components of fabrication, means flooring, beam, column, wall, staircase, and lintel. And last, chhajja projection means sunshades. The length, nominal length shall be in multiple of 1 meter. Length is the same for all the components of the prefabrication. Then next, types of prefabrication components. In the fabrication concrete components such as those given below may be used, which shall be in accordance with the accepted standards where available. First is the reinforced precast concrete channel unit. Second is the reinforced precast concrete slab. Third is the reinforced precast concrete beam. Fourth is the reinforced precast concrete column. Reinforced precast concrete hollow core slab. Reinforced concrete wall face slab. Then reinforced precast concrete wall element. Then hollow solid block and batten. Is the main precast joints and trusted girder and flooring and roofing for the concrete component. And then lightweight and cellular concrete slab, precast lintel and sajja slab. Is large panel prefabrication and reinforced precast concrete trusted, reinforced precast roof kernel, and reinforced concrete L panel unit means prefabrication brick panel unit, prefabrication sandwich concrete panel, the precast foundation. On site, main on site and off site precast fabric, main part for the, this is the on site assembly and off site assembly of the prefabrication element. Okay. On site manufacturing, the main manufacturing of the components can be done in factory for commercial production established at the local point based on the market potential, or site precasting yard set up at or near the site of work. Means factory of prefabrication is resorted to the factory for commercial production for the manufacturing of standardization components. In the long term basis, it is a capital means investigation production where work is done throughout the year, preferably under a close, avoid affect the sensor variation. Means high level of mechanism can always be introduced in this system, where work can be organized in factory like manner with the help of constant team of workmen. Okay. Then site prefabrication. Prefabrication components produced at site or near the site of work are as possible. This system is normally adopted for a specific jobs order for limited period, means semi mechanism and full mechanism. Semi mechanism is the work is normally carried out in open space with locally available labor force. The equipment machinery used may minor in nature and modulus are mobile or stationary in nature. And full mechanism means the work will be carried out under the shaded with skilled labor. Means the equipment used will be similar to one of the factory production. This type of precast yards will be set up for production for precast components of high quality, high rate of the production. Main part of the site preparation full mechanism throughout their definite economic with respect to cost of transportation, and this system suffering from basic drawback of non-sustainability to any high degree of mechanism. There's no elaborate arrangement for quality control, and normal benefit of continuity of work are not available in this system of construction. Sorry.
main to pick for the temporary supporting proper to hold precast faces in the position. This prevents any movement of the panel and allows final adjustment to be made. Second is the transportation of precast packets, means the vehicle मध्ये आपण म्हणजे कुठलं आपल्याला लोड करायचं असेल मटेरियल तर आपण बनवून त्याला आपण ट्रान्सपोर्ट प्रिकास्ट करू शकतो. Then next lifting precast slab into the position. लिफ्ट करू शकतो तुम्ही क्रेनने बघितलं असेल मोठमोठे साईटवर आणि कन्स्ट्रक्शन मध्ये बनवून आपल्याला कंपनी किंवा शक्यतो पुण्या मुंबई ठिकाणी असे करतात प्रिकास्ट स्लॅब पोझिशन लिफ्ट करतात. ओके, द वर्कर इज लेईंग द सर्व्हिस पाईप्स अँड सर्व्हिस कन्स्ट्रक्ट ह्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला दिसते. ओके, या फोटोमध्ये. देन ऍडव्हान्टेजेस ऑफ युजिंग आपण बघितलंय स्ट्रक्चर मगाशीचे ऍडव्हान्टेजेस युजिंग प्रीफॅब्रिकेटेड स्ट्रक्चर. फॅक्टरी मेड इज प्रोडक्ट independent of advertised weather condition during construction. Okay, reduce energy consumption, environmentally friendly way of building with optimum use of material, recycling of waste product, less noise and dust, etc. Okay, then cost effective solution, reduction in cost, construction time, safety in construction, increase in quality of construction, reduction of construction waste, and demotive structure and accessory during technologies. Okay, techniques. Then disadvantages of prefabrication structure. A small number of units required may prove to be uneconomical. Waterproofing are joint. Special connections such as special bearing to transmit the vertical horizontal load can add cost to the system. And then transportation difficulties, and then large prefabrication sections require heavy duty cranes and precision measurement and handling to place in position. Then precast system, open precast system and large panel precast system. हे तुम्ही बघितलंय क्रेनने आपण जी लोड करतोय त्या ह्याला पण ओपन प्रीफॅब ह्याला पण काय म्हणतात ओपन प्रीफॅब्रिकेशन सिस्टीम म्हणतो. But prefabrication system allows the precast and produce a limited number of elements, okay, with a predetermined range of product and the same time maintaining the architecture aesthetic value. Means joint and connection problem, means instead many advantages of open system experience and major setback. Means for example joint correct joint and connection problems occurs one to elements from different system are fixed together. This is why similar connection technology must be observed in order to achieve greater structural performance. Sorry. मगाशी आपण बघितलं टू कॅटेगरीज पार्शियल आणि फुल फॅब्रिकेटेड, पार्शियल प्रीफॅब्रिकेटेड आणि फुल पार्शियल. पण पुढे बघूया अजून. हे आपण लार्ज पॅनल प्रीफॅब्रिकेट सिस्टीम आपण बघतोय मोठमोठ्या. दिस सिस्टम इज बेस्ड ऑन यूज ऑफ लार्ज प्रीफॅब्रिक components. The components used are precast concrete large panel for walls, असेल floor, roof, balcony, staircase. Okay, these casting of components could be at the site of the site. Means multi-storage असेल तर structure or component are large wall and floor concrete panel connected in the vertical and horizontal direction. Means the panel from box like structures, means both vertical and horizontal panels are load bearing. Means wall panel are usually one storage high. Means horizontal floor and roof panels stand either has one way or two way slab and properly joined together. These horizontal walls meant for the panel fabrication system. Okay, then contains installation wiring and cast wall panel. हे दिसतंय तुम्हाला precast wall panel window and door साठी. म्हणजे construction of panelized homes including whole walls with window, door, wires or outside sliding precast factory erected on the side. Means that depending on the walls layout there are three basic configuration of large panel building: cross wall, longitudinal wall and two-way system. And thickness of the wall panel, main thickness काय असतं आपण बघूया. precast wall panel चा precast vertical boundary wall panel thickness of wall panel interior wall ला काय असते 120 mm आणि exterior wall ला 300 mm. Thickness of wall panel 120 mm is interior and 300 is the exterior. and floor panel thickness is 60 mm, and wall panel length is the room length is the 2. Precast wall 2.7 meter to 3.6 meter. The wall panel of the precast wall panel. Then process काय precast concrete चा process काय precast concrete panels are cast face downward in purpose built mold using made of either timber or fiberglass. Okay, steel reinforced cage is placed into mold prior to the concrete being poured, means by inserting mesh or rods in the base of mold, means different design and effects can be created from fall joints and to interrogate left pattern, means increasing the maximum use of side fabricated is being made by fixing other elements from insulation to the entire window and during manufacture of precast panel. This is the mold. Once demolded, the exposed surface of the unit can be treated in a variety of ways. The different design of effect created, means variety of phase, means acid detach and some or coarse ground treated or sand blasted rubber or polished. This main part of the design of the prefabricated process. The main part of the erecting multi-storage pillars पाहिलेलाच असाल जेव्हा तुम्ही विजिट करता साइटवर. हा हमखास क्रेन रिलेटेड तर तुम्ही मोठे कन्स्ट्रक्शन रिलेटेड आपण पाहतो तर ह्या सेम असाच प्रोसेस आहे. लिफ्टिंग वॉल एलिमेंट आहे कसं करतात बघा, क्रेननी कसं ऍडजस्ट करतात, कसं त्याला सेट करतात व्यवस्थित. इथं बघा खालच्या थर्ड डायग्रामला वॉल्स पॅनल विथ टेम्पररी सपोर्ट कसे देतात ते पण बघा. इकडे लिफ्टिंग स्लॅब पॅनल कसे क्रेननी हे करून लोडेड करतात मटेरियल. देन प्रिकास्ट कनेक्शन आपण पाहिलो तरी एकदा मेन पार्ट पाहूया. प्रिकास्ट कनेक्शन, त्याचे साइजेस, त्याचे जॉईंट काय आहे, त्याचे स्टँडर्ड बाउंड्रीज काय बघूया. प्रिकास्ट बाउंड्री वॉल्स means precast boundary walls are similar to precast wall panel but are typically of smaller sizes, means quite idea for precasting as similar panels, means fewer problems with handling, transporting and installation on site. Okay. Joint details means the consideration of proper joint details in the precast boundary, means panels are similar to those for precast wall panel. The design of wall joints will include the following consideration. First is the water tightness, structural movement, panel size, tolerance, installation method, type of wall finisher and weathering. Joint first is the finishing. Precast method for finishing. एक मिनिट. Finishes means wide range of design flexibility and innovation, and the wide range of surface finishes on the precast boundary wall design, means the most common techniques used are molding techniques like sand blasting, acid washing, polishing and honing, hammering and chipping to create the required effects. Means these finishes can then be treated with the appropriate protective coating, means to prevent the weather and staining problem. The wide range of colors for precast boundary wall panel can be derived from aggregate, cement or pigments. Means aggregate can provide color to the final finishes. Means cement with different color can also give the desired colors for the boundary wall panel. Means another form of color finish are colored and oxide pigments. Okay, main part for the plan for the finishes. Then precast boundary walls, precast section plan, then section for the एक्सप्लोड व्ह्यू आहे, डिटेल्स आहेत त्यात रिलेटेड. कास्ट कसं करतं, कास्ट तुम्ही पाहिलात कॉन्क्रीट टेक्नॉलॉजी, कास्ट इन्स्टिट्यूट. ओके. साईट प्लेस कसं होतं बारला. ओके. कट कसं लोकेशनला करायचं. देन कास्ट इन्सेटू फाउंडेशन 3D आपण आता हे बघितलं एक्सप्लोड व्ह्यू मध्ये, म्हणजे डिटेल. हे 3D मध्ये आपल्याला कसं दिसतंय बघा. कॉन्क्रीट टॉपिंग मीन्स हे कॉन्क्रीट, देन कट ॲट वॉल लोकेशन आहे हे, अँड देन टाउनला प्रिकास्ट बाउंड्री आहे, हे PCCL आहे. हे खालचा तो जो आहे कास्ट इन्स्टिट्यूट फाउंडेशन हा सेम. म्हणजे इन्स्टॉलेशन ऑफ वॉल बेस प्रिकास्ट वॉल. ऍक्च्युअल मध्ये आपण डायग्राम मध्ये आणि रिअल मध्ये डिफरन्स दिसतोय की प्रिकास्ट वॉल्स आर प्लेस्ड द प्रॉप्ड. ओके, देन हे बघा असं आहे कम्प्लीट व्ह्यू ऑफ द प्रिकास्ट बाउंड्री अँड पॅनल वॉल. मला दिसलंय जिथं तुम्ही असे कुठे हॉटेल्स असतील, कुठे काय म्हणतात फंक्शनल हॉल असतील, लॉन्स असतील, तिथे असे सिस्टमॅटिक लावलेले असतात. म्हणजे कसे पाहिजे तसे डिझाईन्स आता पुण्या ठिकाणी किंवा मुंबई ठिकाणी तुम्हाला बघायला मिळेल असे. ओके, देन prefabricated staircase means prefabricated staircase prospect here are of standard size with trade size between 25 mm to 250 mm. Okay, rises between 150 mm to 175 mm. On the other hand, steel staircase can come into non-standard size to the shoulder architecture design. Means the precast steel staircase can be fabricated to a range of various forms and shapes. There are the three basic stair profiles, means curved, straight, spiral profile in the case of terrace and semi-detached houses. These staircase can be fabricated in three ways, means type A for the flight only, and type B is a flight and top landing, and type C is the flat and blaze landing. Means the erection of these staircase can either be on critical path or non-critical path of the construction sequence. In each case, prefabricated staircase will result in better quality and according the productivity. Main the part for the prefabricated, the staircase can be installed and quickly and easily cast in situ work can be eliminated. This is the main figure for the precast concrete staircase. And then second figure is the uniquely shaped structure element for the sports stadium. This is the main for main feature of the concrete structure. मध्ये तुम्हाला दिसतंय तुम्हाला हा staircase. Then second काय तर sports stadium चं structure आहे तुम्हाला दिसेल. Okay, third आहे हे तुमचा diagram असेल असा. There are many two main method of fixing and installing the prefabrication staircase. The staircase can either be prefabricated together with the landing has completed unit, or it can be prefabricated separately and installed on the site. Means the prefabricated staircase should be designed to ensure easily transportation hosting. However, in most cases, in the size and weight are usually with the manageable capacity of frames. Means prefabricated flat and cantilever precast trails. Okay, then this is the staircase section आहे. staircase सगळ्यांना माहित आहे section काय असतो, existing brick wall वगैरे पण पाहिलेलं लास्ट इयरला पण. आणि स्टेअरकेसची काय विंडोज एलिमेंट्स आहेत आपण ते पण पाहिलं. प्रिकास्ट विंडो एलिमेंट्स. ओके, हे बघा सॉरी प्रिकास्ट विंडो एलिमेंट मीन्स सेक्शन हेड अँड जॅम. अँड थर्ड इज द स्टील सेक्शनच आहेत हे जे स्टील विंडो असेल, एक्सटर्नल प्रिकास्ट स्टील असेल. ओके, हे कुठलं स्टील विंडो इंटेरियर आहे, हे एक्सटेरियर आहे आणि बिटवीन पॉइंट कॉन्क्रीट आहे. मीन्स नो फाइन्स कॉन्क्रीट विल पास with plaster with both sides, means rendering stopping with permanent drainage of the non-fine concrete wall. Then precast flooring. Before any system of precast concrete flooring can be considered in detail of the following factor must be taken into account. First is the maximum span. Okay, and then nature of the support, then weight of the unit, thickness of unit, thermal insulation properties, sound insulation properties, fire resistance of unit, speed of the construction, and amount of temporary support required. Main for flooring is the precast flooring is before precast before with the development of precast concrete construction techniques. Means precast unit, that is the floor slab, are successfully manufactured. Main advantages of precast flooring: the construction is quick and soundproof is the high, and member are lightweight and does not require form up, and no time wasted for curing of concrete, and then good thermal insulation properties are there. Disadvantages: requires uniform spacing of columns, which can be difficult. Means great care has to be taken in construction in order for precast member to be able to resist handling stress, maybe wastage due to breakage, and then in transportation to the site. Means careful supervision is required during manufacturing, and for manufacturing is usually costly, only economic when manufacturing large scale. Then precast slab. This slide is the types of the precast slab. First is the solid flat slab, hollow core slab, double T and single T, and then slab to be slab precast connection. This is the slab to be slab precast connection आहे. तुम्ही पाहिलेला असाल precast connection actual site वर. Okay. Then wall panel connection to in situ concrete. Okay. हे पण connection to wall panel in situ concrete ला आहे. Actually असं असणार आहे wall panel precast walls. दिसते तुम्हाला precast walls are propped before casting of joints, and proper planning is required for perfect alignment. Okay. The poor streets between two pieces of precast walls are cast in a precast wall unit. दिसते तुम्हाला. Then next तोच आहे precast planks are installed in place. हे बघा, preparation of welded mesh and service for cast in situ topping and concreting to topping असं दिसते तुम्हाला. Reinforcement concrete नीब बघा, म्हणजे precast beam, girder and crobble नीब अशा सेक्शन मध्ये असतात. IL. ओके. Rectangular beam, L shape beam, inverted T beam and austere beam. ओके. आणि क्लॅम्फर्ड एजेस मध्ये कव्हरेज काय, लिंक्स काय ते आहेत. हे बघा, ऍक्च्युअल मध्ये तुम्हाला रेनफोर्स अरेंजमेंट ऑफ कोरबेल मध्ये असं दिसतंय. तुम्हाला अरेंजमेंट कशी करायला वॉल हे जे बारचे वगैरे दिसतंय. प्रिकास्ट बीम कॉलम कनेक्शन युझिंग क्लेट अँगल. हे क्लेट अँगल असं दिसतो. किती mm थिकनेस आहे ते अँगल ते आपल्याला लिहिलंय. 60 mm डायमीटर बोल्ट ऑफ लेंथ 120 mm. ओके. Client angle ISA 100 to 100 by 10 आहे. 60 mm diameter bolt of length 200. हा बोल्ट आपण डिझाईन केलं प्रिकास्ट कॉलम बीम युझिंग क्लेंट अँगलने. ओके. हे बघा, तोच आहे बीम टू कॉलम. लास्ट मगाशीच्या स्लाइड मध्ये आपण बघितलं. असं दिसतंय बघा, बीम टू बीम कॉम्पोजिट कनेक्शन बार वेल्डेड म्हणजे आयसोमेट्रिक व्ह्यू मध्ये आणि क्रॉस सेक्शन मध्ये. ओके. तोच आहे कॉलम टू कॉलम कनेक्शन. हे तोच आहे. लास्ट स्लाइड मध्ये बघितलं आपण. बघूया फाउंडेशन विथ प्रोट्रुडिंग बार्स. बघा, फाउंडेशन बोल्टेड फ्लॅंक. देन प्रिकास्ट डेकिंग स्लॅब. बघा, हे प्रिकास्ट बीम आहे, हे स्लॅब आहे, कोरबेल आहे इथला जो साईडचा असतो, आणि प्रिकास्ट कॉलम तरी तुम्ही बघितला म्हणजे असेंब्ली ऑफ प्रिकास्ट मेंबर्स आहेत. ओके. काही नाही डाऊट. हे प्रिकास्ट रिलेटेड मी 2-3 का स्लाइड दाखवते, तर सेम आहे सगळं, पण वर्किंग काय आपल्याला ते बघूयात आपण. लास्ट एक 10 मिनिट राहिलेले आहेत आणि बघूया अजून 1-2 व्हिडिओ. ऍडव्हान्स कन्स्ट्रक्शन. ओके. ओके. प्रीफॅब्रिकेटेड मॉड्युलर स्ट्रक्चर बघूया. आता जे बघितलंय थोडं मेन वेगळं काय बघूया. The concept of precast structures also known as prefabricated. Okay, modular structure. The structure component are standard are produced in plant in location way from the building site, then transported to the site for assembly. The components are असं करावं लागतंय. The use of tools. Sorry. The transportation site for assembly. The components are manufactured by the industrial methods based on mass production in order to build a large number of buildings in short time at low cost. Then features of the precast modular structure, the divided and specialization of the human workspace, use of tools, machinery, and other equipment usually automated in the production of standard means interchangeable parts are produced. Compared to site cast concrete, precast concrete erection is faster, the less affected by adverse weather conditions. The plant casting allows increased efficiency, high quality control, and greater control on finishes. Then comparison site cast आणि precast मध्ये काय आपण बघूया. Site cast and precast at plant. Site cast is the no transportation. The size, no transportation. Second, the size limitation is depending on the elevation capacity only. Third is the lower quality because the directly affected by the weather. And fourth is the proper large free space is required. Then precast at plant means transportation and elevation capacity limits. The higher industrialization quality less affected by the weather. And then no space required on the site for fabrication means unlimited opportunities of architecture appraisals means options of standard components. Then next design of concept of precast concrete building आपण बघितलेलं तेच बघतोय. Design concrete of precast building based on built ability, economy, standardization of precast component. Okay. Then precast concrete structure element. First is the precast slab, precast beam and girder. Okay. हे काय precast column असतील. मगाशी आपण precast wall आहे ते. Then precast staircase आहेत. Then design consideration काय ते बघूयात आपण. Final position and load. Then transportation requirement means self weight and self load and position during transportation. Storing requirement means self weight and position during storing means avoid a store in the same position as it is transportation built in. Means lifting load and distribution of lifting points means optional way of lifting means selection of lifting and dragging tools means Hellunar points, that is the edges, means reduction of risk, that is rounded edges. Types of precast system, large panel system, frame system, slab column system, with wall and mixed system. Okay. Then large panel system means box-like structure, both vertical and horizontal elements are load bearing. Okay. मगाशी बघितलं आपण. One storage high wall panel means cross wall system means longitudinal wall system and two-way system. One way or two-way slab. Then हे frames आपण पाहिलो. Frame system components are used linear elements. Beams are fitted or coverable of pillar using with hang joint means rigid connection is also an option, and joints are filled with concrete at the site. Third is the lift slab system. Lift slab system आपण पाहिलो पर partially precast in plant pillars means partially precast on the slab. One or more storage high pillars, maximum pass floors are up to 30 storage high construction means special design joints are temporary joints means the slabs are casted on the ground, one on top of the other, then lifted with crane or special elevator. Then lift slab procedure आहे हे. Lift slab procedure मध्ये काय तर pillars and first package that is 5 pieces of the slab prepared at the ground level. Lifting box are mounted on the pillars means a single slab lifted to the first floor level means 3 to 8 box are essentially raised to the higher position. Okay, 3 to 8 म्हणजे हे 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sorry, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, means the main 3 to 8 box are sequentially raised at higher position to enable the slab to be lifted to their required. Means final position slabs are held in relate to temporary means position by the pinning system. Okay, planning and traffic route. Planning and traffic route main how long transportation vehicle is required, what is the required load capacity of the transportation vehicle, and what is the maximum vertical extension of the shipment, means route on the site, is route permission required. Then equipment, first is cranes, lifting tools, rigging tools. Cranes is the mobile crane आहेत. तुम्हाला क्रेनचे लास्ट 6 टॉपिक मध्ये सगळे टाईप, बुलडोजर, ट्रॅक्टर, शॉवेल, पॉवर शॉवेल, हुई, आपण क्रेन रिलेटेड पण सगळे बघितो, बुलडोजर काय असते वगैरे. ओके, ट्रॅक्टर म्हणजे काय आपण सगळं पाहिलं, तोच आहे पार्ट. ओके, नाही पाहिला असेल तर लिंक बघा आपल्या व्हॉट्सअप ग्रुपच्या इथे, डिस्क्रिप्शन इथे सगळ्या सब्जेक्टचे लिंक राहिलेले. कुठलं बुडलं असेल करता एक्झामच्या रिलेटेड सगळं तुम्हाला बघावंच लागतंय, बघून घ्या. ओके, क्रेन्स, मोबाईल क्रेन, टॉवर क्रेन असते, अबाउट 3 स्टोरेज, लिफ्टिंग टूल, स्प्रेडर बीम मीन्स वायर रोप सीलिंग, रेजिंग टूल, आय बोल्ट आणि शेकल्स आणि हुक. ओके, देन असेंब्लीज बघितलं आता, बीम असेंब्ली, कॉलम असतील, स्लॅब असतील. ओके, मेन ऍडव्हान्टेजेस बघूयात. ऍडव्हान्टेजेस पण पाहिलं, क्विक इरेक्शन टाइम पॉसिबल तेच असणार आहे, काही वेगळं नाही, फक्त वर्ड चेंज झाल्यामुळे काही नाही, अर्थ सेम असणार आहे. पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ कन्व्हेन्शनल disassembling moving to another site, means possibility of erection in area whereas traditional construction practice is not possible or difficult, means low labor intensity, means reduce the wastage of material, easier management of construction sites, better overall construction quality and ideal fit for simple and complex structure. Then limitation, काय काय असणार limitation, the size of the unit, location of window opening has to limited variety, and joint details are pre-defined, and site access and storage capacity. Then required high quality control, enable erection between design phases and production planning. Then difficult to handling and transporting. Last, scheduling some appropriate data for installation, means emplacement of the hollow floor slabs, 300 meters square day, means erection of pillars, columns, 8 pieces day, means emplacement of beam, means 15 piece day, means emplacement of double tip slab, means 25 pieces day, emplacement of walls 15 pieces day, and construction of stair and elevator shifted 2 floor day. The main part of the scheduling task, for example, hospital will features multi-stage prefabrication racks in the corridors, and the approach of that is still new in the US, main for the prefabrication example. And then conclude, this use of prefabrication pre-assembly is established to have almost double in the last 15 years and increasing by 86%. The use of precast concrete construction can significantly reduce the amount of construction waste. Generally on construction site, reduce the adverse environment impact on the site, enhance quality control of concreting work, and then increasing work safety and other impediment to the precast and the prefabricated has increased transportation difficult, greater to the inflexibility and more advanced procedure requirements. Okay, main part for the prefabrication for modular पण बघितलेलं आहे. आता ह्याच्यामध्ये आपण चारच पॉइंट आहेत. प्रीफॅब्रिकेशन म्हणजे काय, त्याचे इकॉनॉमिक पॉइंट, ऍडव्हान्टेजेस, डिसएडव्हान्टेजेस, सिंपल क्रेन रिलेटेड काय असेल, त्याचे कशी प्रोसेस वर्क आहे हे आपण बघितलं. 7 टॉपिक म्हणजे प्रीफॅब्रिकेशन आपलं टॉपिक एक पॉइंट झालं. सेकंड आहे फॉर्मर, ते आपण नेक्स्ट लेक्चरला बघूया. एनी डाऊट एनी असेल तर प्लीज विचारा, कारण कसं आहे हा सब्जेक्ट पूर्ण थेरॉरिटिकल आहे, एकदा वाचलं की पूर्ण समजून जातंय आणि एमसीक्यू टाईप असल्यामुळे तर तुम्हाला कसाही अर्जंट आहे. फक्त डीसीएस, अर्थक्वेक इंजिनिअरिंग आणि आपलं एस्टिमेटिंग अँड कॉस्टिंग 3 सब्जेक्टला तुम्ही न चुकता तुम्ही लेक्चर अटेंड करा, कारण तो असा सब्जेक्ट पूर्ण डेरिव्हेटिव्ह आहे. फक्त ट्रॅफिक इंजिनिअरिंग भागनगरी सरांचा तुमचा काय ते इलेक्टिव्ह 2, ओके, आणि माझं कन्स्ट्रक्शन मॅनेजमेंट आणि कन्स्ट्रक्शन प्रॅक्टिस दोन्ही सब्जेक्ट खूप इझी आहेत. बाकीचे 3 तर प्लीज तुम्ही अटेंड करत जावा, काही प्रॉब्लेम असेल तर विचारत जावा. ओके, पण स्टॉप करूया, नेक्स्ट लेक्चरला फॉर्म बघूयात आपण. ओके, काही प्रॉब्लेम असेल तर प्लीज विचारा, पण स्टॉप करूया आता आणि नेक्स्ट लेक्चरला पण बघूयात. ओके, थँक्यू.